Hello. Sorry that Thoughts from the Vicarage is later than usual. We've been to Kent most days, Monday, Tuesday and today, renovating Kevin's mum's house. This morning at 7 AM we were there waiting for the fifth skip to be taken away with the final contents of the loft. And for goodness sake, do you know what? If you have stuff that needs throwing away, do it now. Don't hold on to it, just do it. Otherwise, someone else will have to throw all your old stuff away in the skip. And there's something really sad about it. And what's even sadder is that actually Kevin's mum doesn't even realise that we're doing it because she has dementia, but also because she's had a problem with throwing things away. She just wouldn't let things be thrown out or let anyone else in the family do it either. So consequently, every single room in the house was full of stuff. Such a shame. Anyway, this is quite a stressful time for us at the moment because we have to decorate every room and replace the bathroom and the kitchen and tile them all and flooring. And we need to get it all done. So I can't wait for IKEA to open up on Monday. My lovely son-in-law Lee is going to come down on Friday and do some cementing and plastering and generally making good. Bless him. And our aim is to use this lockdown time to get it ready to rent in 6 weeks through an agency so that we can pay for Kevin's mum's care while she's in a home. I don't know about you, but when I'm stressed, I find it harder to quieten my mind and settle down to concentrate on Jesus and to wait for his presence. I keep getting distracted with a to-do list, you know, like I must remember to order that bathroom suite, or I wonder what tiles will go best with the bathroom, or what colour shall I paint the kitchen? Oh, sorry, Lord, I've got distracted again, sort of thing, you know. I remember Cherie in our church. She took us through a meditation one day in our back garden, actually. There was a whole group of girls. And as we began to quieten down, she said that as each unwanted thought came into our mind, just dismiss it, she said. And like a passing car, it just takes your thoughts. And I thought, yeah, I could really do this. So I envisioned a huge pickup truck, or several pickup trucks, in fact, with all my loaded to-do lists as I kept thinking of other things and just popping them on the back of the truck, and it would drive off in another direction. And it was a great way of just getting rid of those extra thoughts that you don't want when you're trying to focus. So thanks, Cherie. We need to do more of those meditations, you know. Must get in touch about that. Anyway, today I thought it might be quite good to read Psalm 23. You restore my soul. I'm just going to read it to you. So this is from the Message version, so it might sound a bit different. So, God, my shepherd, I don't need a thing. You have bedded me down in lush meadows. You find me quiet pools to drink from. True to your word, you let me catch my breath and send me in the right direction. Even when the way goes through Death Valley, I'm not afraid when you walk by my side. Your trusty shepherd's crook makes me feel secure. You serve me a 6-course dinner right in front of my enemies. You revive my drooping head. My cup brims with blessing. Your beauty and love chase after me every day of my life. I'm back home in the house of God for the rest of my life. So let's go back to verse 3, and it says, true to your word, you let me catch my breath and send me in the right direction. And even when the way goes through Death Valley, I'm not afraid when you walk by my side. Your trusty shepherd's crook makes me feel secure. In the song, You Restore My Soul from New Wine, which we're going to hear a bit later after this, it continues on from that Bible verse. Even when silence falls around me, I know you hear me. Even when it feels like we're separated, you're holding on to me. You lift my head, you wipe my tears, you restore my soul. It says in Philippians 4, rejoice in the Lord always. I'll say it again, rejoice. That's pretty certain, isn't it? When Paul says, I will say it again, rejoice, it's obviously really important that we need to rejoice in the Lord, because when we do, we find joy in the Lord. He is our strength. So when we're going through adversity, that's why we need to worship God through it all. A difficult time like now, through this lockdown time, you may have lost someone close to the COVID virus. You might be afraid of catching it. It might be a stressful time, like we're going through at the moment. A lonely time, a sad time, a frustrating time, or you might be going through a relationship breakdown. These are the times we need to worship right in the midst of our adversity. When we worship through adversity, when we make a point of doing it, even though we might not feel like it, or we are so sad we can hardly sing, those are the times when joy is found amongst the sadness. I remember a worship leader who shared his story at New Wine last year. He talked about how he coped with his wife dying from cancer. He said when they realised that there was no cure and that she was going to die, they decided to just worship together. And every time they worshipped, they felt such love, hope and joy together. They worshipped every day until she died. And now when he worships, he says he feels so close to her still, because he believes she's worshipping in heaven. And so even though he can't see her, he knows they are worshipping together. It's such a beautiful story and an amazing picture of what happens when you worship God in adversity. Back to Psalm 23, it says in verse 5, you serve me a 6-course dinner right in front of my enemies. You revive my drooping head, my cup brims with blessing. When you feed on your Father's presence, this is where God meets us at our deepest place. Then the Lord strengthens us, but we need to really look to him amongst all our woes. The highest praise is the time we worship from the most painful place. A song in the night offers a deliverance from our situation, just like that young worship leader. David, who wrote Psalm 23, was the ultimate worshipper. He knew about deliverance from adversity, but his whole ethos was to praise the Lord every day, morning and evening. He even had priests at the temple, all trained in music so that they could sing and play an instrument. So important was worship to him. And he was king. Why am I saying all this? Because some days are a struggle to get through life. At the moment, there are people struggling with being on their own, struggling being together with someone they no longer love, or maybe they have lost a loved one and don't feel they can carry on. Yesterday was the anniversary of my mum's death. She died from cancer 11 years ago, and I still miss her a lot, especially when something happens and I just want to share it with her. Often it's about the children, and she'd have been so excited to see all that they had achieved in their lives. But for Dad, it is still so painful some days. They spent 50 years together, and she had left a huge missing part in his life. These are the times we have to push into God and worship him despite our sadness. When joy begins to filter through, you're going to hear in a minute this song, You Restore My Soul by New Wine. And it's a beautiful song and it's such a promise really. And this song is based completely on Psalm 23. So I hope it inspires you to worship every day, but particularly through the difficult days. So have a week full of joy and fun. Bye.